What if you asked your friends whether it's possible to become rich from a job? They would probably laugh and say, "No way, you need to start a business." But guess what? They're wrong. Next time you see them, show them this video, because I'm going to prove it's possible. I will share real examples of employees who've become richer than 90% of business owners, without luck and without any side hustles. There's a secret path to wealth as an employee, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it as well. From picking the right skill to landing the perfect job and mastering the 9-to-5 game. I'm Barack from the Coin Compass, and after completing my 2 weeks of research, I'm ready to show you how to get rich from your job. When hearing the word job, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? I bet you are thinking of long working hours, heavy traffic, and a guaranteed salary that is not that big. And you know what? In most cases, it's true, but it doesn't have to be that way. You see, the secret is not in the job itself, but in how you approach it. There's a secret path that only a few people know about. A path where all people can turn their jobs into huge money machines. And no, I'm not talking about begging your boss for promotions or working endless hours without seeing your family. So let me show you some real examples of employees who did the impossible and actually became rich from their jobs. Imagine working at NVIDIA for almost 20 years, not as a top engineer, but in a regular position. Because you work at NVIDIA, they reward you with an employee stock purchase plan, letting you invest 10 to 15% of your salary in the company's stock for a 15% discount. What do you think would happen if you worked at NVIDIA for 18 years? You will not just get an exclusive NVIDIA t-shirt, but also a cool $62 million, thanks to your patience in buying the company's growing stock for such a long time. NVIDIA has 29,600 employees right now, and thanks to this company, at least 2,000 of them became new millionaires. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's true. And before you send your CV to NVIDIA, let me tell you about the incredible story of Chamath Palihapitiya, which shows how a regular employee has become one of the richest people in the tech industry. Chamath was born in Sri Lanka in 1976, and when he was 6 years old, his family moved to Canada in search of better opportunities. His early life wasn't easy at all, but it motivated him to work harder and harder. After studying electrical engineering at the University of Waterloo, he soon found himself working for great companies like AOL in product development and management positions. However, the moment that really changed his future came in 2007 when he joined Facebook as the Vice President of Growth. During that time, Facebook was still changing from a college network into the global giant we know today. How good was Chamath at Facebook? Under his leadership, the number of users on the platform went from 50 million to over 700 million in just 4 years. Crazy, right? With the growing popularity of Facebook, the wealth of Chamath grew as well. When he left Facebook in 2011, his stock options and compensation had made him a millionaire. But what's the most interesting part? After leaving Facebook, Chamath didn't lay on the beach for the rest of his life, even though he could. Instead, he founded Social Capital, his own venture capital firm, and made successful investments that exploded his net worth to $1.2 billion. It's funny that this man was once just a regular product development employee. The last example I'm going to talk about is completely shocking because it shows that any employee can become rich by mastering the art of sales. If you haven't heard of Joe Girard, the world's greatest car salesman, you must listen now because his story can really change your mindset. Joe was born in 1928 to a poor family in Detroit. From a young age, he had financial problems and different jobs, including shining shoes and selling newspapers. All he tried to do was support his family, but despite these efforts, life was tough, and by his 30s, Joe found himself deep in debt after a failed home construction business. The situation was awful. Joe's wife told him there was no food in the house to feed their children, and he had to do something quickly. At his lowest point, Joe decided to try something different: selling cars. At the age of 35, he started working at Chevrolet in Michigan, without knowing that it was the turning point in his life. Joe started to sell cars, but did it differently than all the other salesmen. He focused on building long-term relationships with his customers, so they kept coming back and invited their friends too. His dedication and ability to connect with clients quickly resulted in record-breaking sales. In about 15 years, Joe sold 13,000 cars, earning him the Guinness World Record for the world's greatest car salesman. In 1973 alone, he sold 1,425 cars, which means 6 sales per day on average. Joe made millions of dollars in commissions during his best years, allowing him to retire at 49. After his retirement, Joe used his sales expertise to become a motivational speaker and author. His best-selling book, How to Sell Anything to Anybody, has helped him increase his wealth and influence even more. These 3 examples are just a few of the many employees who cracked the code to become rich from a job. It's time to talk about how you can also use that secret strategy and become rich from your job. If you are still watching, it means you are serious about your future and have better chances to succeed than most employees. You probably want to be the best in what you do, so you can apply to key roles in awesome companies. But before you become the best, ask yourself this: what skill is right for me? Finding the right skill is like choosing the perfect suit. It needs to fit you just right. Look for something that you are passionate about and the market really needs. Now that you know the skill that can be your ladder to success, you have to become better than 99% of employees, so everyone will want to hire you. And the truth is, it's not complicated. You see, most employees just do what the boss tells them, which is the minimum required to not get fired. But you must be different. Learn every little detail about your industry, ask more questions, take on tasks no one else wants, and keep developing your skill set. You can do it by taking online courses, attending workshops, or learning from professionals. The more value you provide means your boss will not be able to replace you with some random employee. At this point, you already have the right skills, and you are ready to level up. What's the next move? Finding your dream job at a company with serious growth potential. Why? Because when you're part of a high-growth company, the value of stocks, bonuses, and other perks can explode as the company scales. Start by targeting companies that are innovative, rapidly expanding, or breaking into new markets. Think about industries that are set to boom, like tech, AI, or clean energy. Once you've found the right company, include in your application exactly how you can bring value and help it grow. Okay, so now you're in your favorite company. Congratulations. But now is the real deal of your journey to become rich from your job. You have 2 options. The first is becoming the absolute best in sales, just like Joe Girard, the world's greatest car salesman, so you can become rich from bonuses and high salaries. The second option is climbing the corporate ladder and working at your company for the long term in a key position, so you earn stocks and options that could make you rich in the future once the company's growth explodes, just like many NVIDIA employees did. I hope you got inspired about your way to become rich from a job. Subscribe to the Coin Compass so you don't miss our next video. And before you go, did you know you can make insane money from debt? Watch this video to find out how.